Well, that's funny. Hopefully that's better. Everybody can let me know and see if it's good now. I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't see any issues on the feedback anymore because I think it's all good. I think we're ready to roll now. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Alleged professional. You want to know something? Good test run, because it would have been better doing it now than it would be on the radio show tomorrow. Because as I said, I'm doing the show out of the garage for the next couple of days, which is going to be different because I've been back at studio, which has been fun. And boom, we're ready to roll. Anyway, so let's get back to it, everybody. Midas says no longer recording with a potato. That's the way I like it. I like that we are back and we are rolling this way. But anyway, sorry for that, everybody. Sorry for the delay and the terrible technical issues for that. Very embarrassing. Marlins tied it up, is what Chicken Lips is saying. Oh, you have the Robbie Crocs as your picture. That hit me. I wonder if we'll see Robbie tonight. Maybe he'll pop in. Who knows? What's up, Oman Dragon? How's it going, man? Love your nod to Dragic in your name. Fantastic. RVA Richie says Struz is getting loose. Good to hear. Thomas, are you excited for the Canes this season? You know what? It's sneaking up on me, Thomas, but I know I will be. I know, like, I'm gonna be excited once it gets here, but I definitely feel like it has flown under the radar. I think it probably a lot of that has had to do with the Dolphins, because this feels like a very big season coming up in front of them, and then with the Heat, you know, is just such a big thing. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited for that. I'm hugely excited for the Bama game, even though I'm a little terrified. But you know, De'Aaron King's really good, and they got some things that they got to replace. So who knows? Because I know you're asking. Do they have a chance? It doesn't feel like a good one, but maybe some things break right, you know, and maybe they're tuned up the right way. And I mean, health wise, when that quarterback's healthy, he's just so damn good. And as Dave says, don't lose, Alabama. Let's see what else we got. Do you think we should sign JJ Redick? Nah, not into it. Well, you know, he's going to come down here and he's going to do his little podcast with Duncan Robinson. They're going to cross over, you know, like, you know, go do your thing elsewhere, JJ Redick. You know, we got it. We got a hand. We're good over here. You know. Let's see. Oh, Mark Hochman. Are you going to try and get us Gerard Gallant? No, I mean, Gerard, you know, maybe if they give him a taxi, you know, just like, you just give him some chances like that. Don't do him dirty like the Cats did at the end there. What's up, Kerner? How's it going, man? Do you think that Duncan Robinson is going to change his number from 55? No, because I think his other number is 22, and that's Jimmy Butler's number. So I think he's sticking with that. By the way, go subscribe to Hochman's Food Court. He's got a YouTube page. So all the YouTube listeners on here, go subscribe to Hochman's new page where he and his son, they go to food courts and food destinations and grade food. You know, sometimes, you know, Hochman's food takes are questionable, but his son is there, hopefully to keep him in check. So go check out Hochman's Food Court on YouTube. That's what's up. What's Tobin's Twitch? It's Brendan_Tobin. Appreciate you giving me a follow there. Do you think that we should have given Precious more of a chance? I would have liked them to, ideally. I liked Precious Achiuwa. I think he's super athletic, and anytime that he started, it felt like he could just explode and put up big numbers. I do think that in the role, he got a little bit overwhelmed. He started getting very Joel Anthony-esque with his hands. So I do think that things started moving too fast, and definitely there was some regression as the season went on. But I liked Precious. Always makes me nervous when the Raptors want a young player, because they, like the Heat, are very good at developing players. And so I think that they'll find a good role for him there. So yeah, I'm bummed about it, but the Heat are playing for keeps right now, and they need it. And if you're talking about as an upgrade, they went from giving up a guy in Duncan Robinson allegedly at the trade deadline last season, and now we're at a point where they gave up, a guy who barely played, really wasn't in the rotation for them at the end of the year, and Goran, who they really weren't going to bring back. I mean, if it ended up there wasn't a trade there, they were going to bring him back at that number. So it ends up just working well for the Heat just because of how much just because of how much you waited and all that stuff. So works for me. I am let's see. Ty, if you could choose between Danny Green or JJ as a veteran backup guard, who would you pick? Love the show. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I would if I had to pick, I would go with Danny Green over JJ Redick. Again, I don't know. JJ Redick, a little unctuous to me. He's a little bit too cool for school. Danny Green, savvy vet, been on a bunch of championship teams. Another one of those Heat killers who now comes on to the Heat. A little bit washed, as JJ is too. But if I had to choose, I would go with I would go with Danny Green. I would go with Danny Green if I had to choose. Should we go Omer the Max? I tell you what, we definitely got to sign him. The kid looks amazing. I'm the one thing I'm bummed out about right now is I was watching Omer Yurtseven go out there and ball out against the whatever the hell the Summer League Golden State Warriors, and they got like 2 lottery picks on there. He's the best player on the court. Heat struck again, man. Will the Heat make a move for Bradley Beal, or are they done for now? I don't think any Bradley Beal stuff is happening. They just had the sign and trade with Spencer Dinwiddie. So I don't think anything's going to happen there. I think, the one thing with Bradley Beal that's interesting is Bradley Beal, I remember him doing a Woj interview after the smoke kind of cleared on the John Wall thing. He likes being, the franchise guy and having all that say and all that type of stuff in Washington. He said this from his mouth. I think he likes being chased. I think he likes being that guy. And, I'm sure eventually, because it's the Washington Wizards, I'm sure it's not going to work out, and eventually he will pull the trigger on leaving. But I could totally see him going through another year and not leaving. I could totally see that and saying, yeah, let's go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Love the show. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Gabriel. Do you think that Oladipo will be ready for the playoffs? I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so. I think that the thing that I think is good with this team, I love the fact they brought Oladipo back, especially with all the other moves, that were out there. I think that, first of all, he's wanted to be here for a long time. He's been trying to get to Miami for a long time. It would have been such a bad, unfortunate turn for that guy to get to where he wanted to go, and then all of a sudden his leg doesn't work. If you believe what was put out there by reports after he had the surgery, that like the first surgery was basically botched and they can get it right this time, because he was just never right, never himself. What do we saw one dunk of him looking like, oh, okay, this is the guy we all know and recognize. But yeah, I think he'll be better for the playoffs. I hope by sometime in the middle of the year that he's ready, but I do think that they're in a position where they can take it slow with him. They don't exactly have to rush. And I really do like that they brought him back. I do like that they brought him back. I think it's a great thing. Who botches the surgery? It's totally true, Lou. I don't understand. Normally, it's like you get the old standard, successful surgery. He's going to be back, and I think they even did that with him. But apparently, the doctor who looked opened him up, and he's just like, Oladipo, your leg, it's botched. So I hope he's right, and I think that he's a good fit. I think he's a good fit for this team. I think that if he's somewhat right, it's another dynamic scorer. And everybody talks about the age. He's not old. I think it's one of those things where it's I think a smart move on his part too. He likes it down here. I think he has investment in a gym down here. He's wanted to be down here. So, I know there was talk of the Bucks, But the Bucks just won a championship, and then I think they'll be like, whatever, Oladipo. Same thing with the Lakers. Like they're kind of stocking up on everybody. Like I think that he will have some type of investment in him, because I think that unless something of tremendous comes along, they're probably going to look at him as a huge, almost like trade deadline acquisition. So I think it's great. I'm glad that they brought him back. And if he does show anything, and then if some type of whale comes its way and it doesn't, that piques their interest a little more. Well, now you have his bird rights. You could do a sign and trade, things like that. So that's awesome. That's I'm happy about it. Mason says the Strus is getting freaking loose. Wish I was watching it right now. I had my little TV, which I've been putting in here for the live chats to watch, and my daughter was in. I had the TV in my son's room because he's the one I like to keep quiet from time to time, and she I don't know, she was doing like gymnastics in his room or something like that, and flipped. Somehow, like her feet flipped the TV down, and it's like got a huge black line right through it now. So it's basically useless. Doesn't work. Damage is done. Damage is done. Platinum Source says the doctor called up and says your surgery was botched in. I see Strus having a good season, being a trade piece of the deadline, use him as an asset. I like Strus, man. I thought, I wasn't going to be surprised if they were like, hey, if Duncan Robinson got some, if they would have let him walk, I wouldn't have been surprised if they said, Strus, go get it. But I'm happy Duncan's back. Can we all agree to bring back the back in black jerseys? You talking about like the black on black is, I assume, what you're talking about. Yeah, I liked those. I want them to come back. I'm waiting for them to come back with the throwback. I love the 90s Heats uniforms. Those are my favorite. Even more than the Vice. I love them. I'm like that with all the Miami teams, though. All the Miami teams. That's hurt my heart. It happens, man. It happens. I mean, thankfully, like we are at a point where TVs aren't like a crusher anymore. But I don't even feel like I don't even want to get them a new little TV. I'm like, you know what? You watch your TV with the line through it. Honestly, if he could see like half of the characters on Bluey, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Schmeathan, I dare you to say you would give the final roster spot to UD over Yurtseven. I dare you. I would. If it comes down to it, Schmeathan, I'm sorry. Omir, go off and do your thing. I'm sorry. So, I will fight that tooth and nail. I don't care. You can be mad at me, and you can think that's if UD wants to come back, and it comes down to but UD, we got the Turkish Titan. I'm sorry, Turkish Titan's got to go. That's that. Enjoy Sioux Falls, or they do two-way. You go down to Sioux Falls. Sorry, you're gonna just throw away 17 years over 2 summer league games? No. Can't do it. Jay Freezy says UD could be 90 years old taking that spot. That's right. Jackson, do you think that he will add one more player? Or are they done for now? I don't know. I'm not ruling anything out, man. You never know what they got up their sleeve, but it does seem like it is winding down. I do think that they'll be watching these summer leagues. I mean, people into Lemon Pepper Lou? That was like the one, the name that was the big name that was kind of thrown out there. I haven't been on Twitter checking rumors. Has he signed with anybody? I don't think so, but I saw that Barry Jackson reported that he was that he was into the idea of coming to the Heat. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he love it down here? Lou or Isaiah Thomas? I think I like Lemon Pepper Lou. Let's see. Do you see the honest thoughts on the team? Do you see us contending? I think that a lot of this is going to come down to Alt Escape, Control Alt Escape. Very strange name. I think a lot of it comes down to Bam. I think that Jimmy and I think that Kyle are very good players. I think everybody has their respect, but I think that as you've seen with Bam, and he's taken great leaps over the last 2 years. Obviously, everybody was very frustrated with the lack of aggressiveness, beaten to the ground that point last year. But to a level, like if he is going to be a guy who ups it a little bit more, can he average over 20 a game? Can he get to 22 points a game from where he was last year? I think he can. I think he's that kind of a special guy. I think he's that kind of a special talent. He's only 24 years old. If that is the case, and he does take that next leap, I think that takes them from, being a very, very, being a very good team and being a top 3 team to, okay, these guys can get back into a Bucks series and can really hang with them. Obviously, Brooklyn's got a lot of firepower, and we still really haven't seen what that looks like whole. Kevin Durant is arguably the best player on the planet, although I'm sure, it's fine if you have Giannis in that spot right now. He earned it after that finals win. But Kevin Durant's top 3 player in the world. It's Giannis, right? It's probably like Giannis, LeBron, Kevin Durant in whatever the hell order you want to put it in. And so you need to have, I think it's more likely that you need your 24-year-old to keep taking those leaps, much like we've seen from Giannis taking leaps and from Jokic taking leaps and all that type of stuff. And I know those are high standards, but truly, if they're going to contend, I think that is the best chance that they have to do that. That he's doing something special. I think Tyler's another element to that too. I'm not expecting him to be, Devin Booker in his 3rd year, but I think that the reliability, there's going to be a lot more expected of him. And if those 2 guys do step in up in that regard, then you kind of have yourself back in that almost, that hub of what you were in the bubble, with Kyle being almost the healthy level of Lowry, with Kyle Lowry being the healthy level of Goran. Obviously, Jimmy was had some sensational performances there. You feel like you filled out the role players a lot better. Bam was sensational, but hopefully with a maturity and a seasoning to his game, can be even better. And more consistency from Tyler, a little bit beef on him that he can not be bullied around and pushed around. Those things, like it's not a definite absolute. I definitely think that the Miami Heat need things to shake their way, but I don't think they're outlandish things to ask for them going into this year. Those are my honest opinions on that. Bucks fan, we're waiting for that rematch trilogy. I'm looking forward to it. But listen, man. Listen, I gave Giannis plenty of shit, but he that finals was incredible from him. If the Heat add Kawhi Leonard, do you see them going to finals? I mean, I don't know what's going on with him, man. It feels like he's just holding the Clippers hostage right now. I don't think he's doing anything other than he's just going to make what's his face, the crazy guy, Ballmer, bleed. That's what that feels like. Let's see. What do you think is going to happen with X? It's weird. I kind of still feel like he's going to get traded. It was definitely a much more kumbaya week this week. Like after he spoke to the media and he kind of left the door open. And then Flores said that things are moving in the right direction. He said that again today, but he was kind of being a little cutesy about it. But I don't know. I still get the feeling like ultimately he's still not practicing. He's still just kind of roaming around. Now he's dapping up he's interacting with his teammates. I'm boots on the ground. I wasn't there today, but I was there the last couple of days. He's there with a giant hat on, like a fisherman's hat, and he's dapping up his teammates. He's patrolling the sidelines. One practice, him and Bye Bye Jones were hanging out together. So that's all good. I don't I don't, think this has been that big a distraction for anybody. I think they've handled this all fine from that standpoint. But it's it's the first week of training camp. He's not a guy that you would really want to play in preseason anyway. It's really going to come down to what are they going to do by the time that the games come around? And it's an interesting question. Like, is he really going to get to the point where he won't play games? I don't know. He's not a guy, this is obviously a thing where he wants a lot of money. Is he willing to give up game checks to not play? Does he have it like that? I don't know. But to me, I still feel like ultimately, like, if it's not a quarterback, a lot of the times these things roll in the direction of they just want him to pass it. But it also may be a thing where he's waiting to see, like, all right, maybe Noah Igbenogany stinks. Maybe they don't have the ponies, and then the Dolphins do feel like they're gonna switch it on around and get it going. Let's see what else we got. Tyrone, the Bulls won free agency. I guess that's a response to the title of this chat. I actually thought the Bulls had a great free agency, Tyrone. I thought that they did have a great free agency. I like them adding Lonzo Ball. I wasn't like crazy about having DeMar DeRozan on the Heat. I just thought that I just thought, like, I didn't love the idea of bringing in, like, the reincarnation of the Toronto Raptors. I'll take a sprinkle of Raptors. I don't want the whole ice cream sundae. And I wasn't crazy about it. Like, now, if you're giving up nothing for him, okay, you're not going to be upset having a guy of his caliber scoring. But I wasn't like, oh my God, if they get DeMar DeRozan, I wasn't tripping over myself for it. And in all honesty, I like where they're at right now, because I like the idea of, continuing to develop that core three of young guys around, the vets. I think that's good. I think that's healthy. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for developing the franchise. But I do think the Bulls had a good free agency. I like Lonzo Ball, adding him. I like all the moves that they did, and I wouldn't have been upset if the Heat were tied to Lonzo Ball. I wasn't crazy about it, but it's intriguing. And so same thing with the Bulls. And I think also they're coming up with a big year with Levine and all that type of stuff. So good on them. Bam out of the Bayou. How do you feel about Bam getting complimentary players around him if he can make a leap, make his teammates better? Yeah, I think that I think that's huge. Out of the Bayou, because just having a guy like Lowry there just to set him up, I think is going to be huge. I think that Spo was making that point a couple times last year, where it's not just a matter of he needs to be aggressive. He needs people to put him in position, because a lot of what his role is just getting people in good position, especially a guy like Duncan Robinson. And it's like, when you're working so hard to look out for everybody else, who's looking out for you? So I'm in lockstep with you right there. Let's see. Heat looking like a 4-5 seed. Yeah, but you know what? I think, D Thorne, I don't think that is as big a slap in the face right now. This East is shaping up to be pretty good. This East is not, this is not your older cousin's East. This seems like a respect. Like, if you're a 4-5 in the West, nobody ever bats an eye at you and says, you're nothing. Like, this is getting to be a pretty good conference. I think on paper, obviously, but I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid. I like it. Chat's moving fast tonight, man. I'm trying to keep up. Let's see. Do you think that if Wall were bought out, that he could get him as a backup? Man, he's so washed. I suppose I wouldn't rule it out. But I think their move in that direction, Alejandro, if I had to guess, is like they're moved for like the guy that they're hoping is like, is going to add the spark. I think is going to be Oladipo, with his health pending, of course. Shannon Briggs versus Rampage. Finally, a fight question. Hell yes, I'm in for this. I love this fight. I love what they're doing on social media. I love the promotion that they're giving between each other. And I think in boxing, yeah, Shannon's gonna hurt him. Shannon. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, being in the locker room with Shannon Briggs when he's warming up for a fight, that dude. I mean, and I've been around a lot of boxers. This guy is just different. It's like a Mack truck hitting pads. It's so ridiculous. And that was a long time ago. I mean, it was still 6 years ago, Shannon Briggs, where he was looking good. And that's all I'll say about that. I don't even know what I have to say about it. He was testosterone up. He said it on my radio show, so I don't even know what I'm hiding. Where he was on the good stuff and he was amped, and dude, he hits so hard. I'm sure Rampage does too. But yeah, I'm into that for sure. Let's see. Any update on Xavier and Howard? No update really, man. I just talked about it a little bit, but he is but I see you said Rosenhaus said he said I didn't hear that, but I still kind of feel like he's gonna go. I feel like they're still gonna trade him. Do you think that the Heat should pull the trigger on Hield, even if it means giving up Herro? They almost gave him up for Kuzma, so I don't know if they'll do it for Herro. Oh, so the Kings almost gave him for Kuzma, you're saying? I just feel like the way I feel about that move is you just gave $90 million to Duncan Robinson to be the best shooter on your team and to be that guy. It feels a little bit like, well, then what did I give Duncan Robinson all that money for? And I'm not, I think Duncan Robinson, is the best as far as it comes with when it comes to shooting, but Buddy Hield is very, very good. So if you want to put him up there ahead of Duncan, fine. Not a debate I need to have right now, but I just think that I think it's fair to say they're on par with each other for the most part. And I think if you invest that much money in Duncan Robinson, I don't think you need to do it for Buddy Hield. Same thing with like bringing in the JJ Redick, like, and I know they can say, oh, you never have enough shooters, all that type of stuff. That's all well and good to say, but like, how well is that going to go when like Buddy Hield already not happy with his role in Sacramento's been out of there for a while, and he comes here and Spo wants to go in the direction of playing Duncan more. How's that going to go? So, I'm not crazy about the move, even though he's a good player. Let's see. Strus. Oh, I'm getting some reports. So, Strus almost caught a body. Strus is killing it. Man, wish I had the Summer League game on in here. Christian Red, y'all will trade Herro for anyone. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not I think part of the thing that's great about what they did is they did all this with keeping Tyler Herro. And man, Leroy makes fun of me. I think that he's looking really good in the offseason. He looks like he's put on muscle. I don't know what his weight count is up yet, but he looks like he's starting to look like he's starting to get some grown man muscles on him. So I like that. I think that he's going to be. I think that's going to pay big dividends for him. And as the kids say, he has a tremendous bag. He's got all the tricks. And if he does come back a little bit more bodied up for this NBA season, doesn't get pushed around as much, and really just has his first off season. And that's that I think is going to be huge in itself. Huge. Tobin, have you ever thought about doing a Heat culture workout as a radio bit? I would need to talk to somebody about what that entails, because I feel like it involves like wall sits and suicides, and I feel like as a radio bit I would die. Let's see. Ryan says, dude is 21. We've invested serious floor time. At this point, it's worth seeing out more than what we can get for him. Yeah. I mean, like, look, it also just comes to a point, like you guys said, like for Buddy Hield, when you already have Duncan Robinson, I don't really see the point. And also, like, look, if you do invest him and he does tremendous stuff, and then all of a sudden somebody does want to come here and join the Miami party, and you decide, okay, we think we're selling high on Tyler here, or we think that, or he's not, maybe he wants to go to a place, because, he's been very open about the fact that he wants to start, even though I think there's going to be plenty of games where he's going to close for this team. Doing a little bit of projecting because that's what he did his rookie year. But I do think that they will go to him in the fourth quarter at certain times, like they did his rookie year. And, if something like that happens, I think it's worth bringing him back rather than kind of having him at this level of, oh, let's trade him for this guy, who you're like, really, it's not what we were talking about at the end of the finals run. What do you think about Yurtseven? I think he looks awesome. I haven't seen anything since the first quarter tonight because I've been here, but he looked like he was balling out again. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I'll throw up let me see. Let me put up let me go to Cooper Moorheads. He's been putting up highlights. Let me see if he's got anything else good from Yurtseven. Struce cycle. Let me see. Ooh, Struce is getting loose. Wow. Max Struce having a game. Max Struce, no conscience. Oh, good. Huh? Ooh, big lob. Yeah, he looks good, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to fall down the rabbit hole of you guys watching me watch stuff on Twitter, but it's looking good. He is looking good. I think he said his goal was 12. He did say that. I think he said 10 to 12, I believe was his goal. I was there when he said that. And he said he was at 4, which might be ambitious. But I mean, like, you guys can go look on Instagram. I just think I'm looking on Instagram, I'm like, hey, he looks bigger. He definitely looks bigger than he used to. Dedmon or Whiteside? Now? I'm going Dedmon. Like, you're talking prime? I mean, I would go, man, I found some old Whiteside tweets from me tonight or last night where I was like outraged that Hassan Whiteside didn't get most improved player over Jimmy Butler. And man, that's just funny going back years to 2015. But I love Dedmon. Love him. Perfect for the role. I think it's hilarious that Hassan Whiteside is on Utah and that Drummond is with Joel Embiid. Hilarious. Let's see. Can we find Winslow home? I don't know, man. I don't know where he's at. That's going to be an interesting one. Would the Marlins be better now if Jose Reyes? I'm pretty sure you mean Jose Fernandez. If Jose Fernandez didn't die. A lot of people have said that was a huge just changer for everybody. That if it didn't happen, maybe Lowry doesn't sell. Maybe he does. If he's here, maybe Yelich doesn't want to go. But then again, maybe he's not here. Maybe he wanted a $400 million contract and he's off on another team. So, he did have Scott Boras as his client, and we know that Scott Boras and Sampson hated each other like poison. So I don't know. I do know that that guy's the best pitcher I've ever seen pitch for the Marlins. I know people were trying to make some of those comparisons to Sixto Sanchez last year, and I was just like, nah, it's not the same. It's not to say Sixto can't be great. Maybe he will be, but just like the joy that Jose played with, he was like, he wasn't just a pitcher, like he was a baseball player, and was just so much fun to watch. Dude was electric. And it's pretty crazy. I was getting a little nostalgic this week with Miguel Cabrera being a couple away from 500 home runs. It's just like, I just can't believe that guy was on the Marlins, and they just, he didn't just get to stick around there. Won triple crowns with Detroit, MVPs. Now he's gonna get to 500 home run. I was at his first game where he hit the walk-off shot. I had season tickets that year, so I went to a ton of games, and but I went to that game. I drove on down and watched him hit that home run against the Rays. And then game 4 was at the World Series with my grandfather. Crazy. One of the craziest games I've ever been to. Let's see. Is Cabrera still with he is still with the Tigers, just for the record. Riley is a finesse god. I agree. Morris and Tucker signs, do you like them? Yeah, I like them. I'm not like I liked them at the time. I like the Tucker one more than Morris. I'm not like over the moon for like either one of them. I liked that. It was fun though. I liked that the Tucker one was kind of a surprise. Like I didn't see PJ Tucker linked to the Heat really anywhere in this offseason. And it kind of just dropped out of the sky. And I love that. I love when you get a Shams bomb surprise. Or by the way, Shams is just kicking Woj's ass, right? Right? Although Woj had the Kemba thing today, right? He broke that. It was weird. Woj broke the Duncan Robinson signing, but Dunks had Shams on the pod. That's interesting. I wonder if there's like a little moling going on there. Threw him off the scent for Camp Woj. Let's see. Oh, Yurts is killing it. Yurts for 3, people are saying. Oh, man, missing the show. Any word on KZ? I think that he isn't starting until Vegas because he was in the Olympics. So that's why I don't think he's on the team right now. They announced that. Like him and Gabe aren't playing right now, but they'll be in the Vegas Summer League. Obviously, they're coming back from Tokyo, and Precious will be on the Summer League Raptors. So that's that with that. What else we got? Lebitard is now the second highest paid podcaster in the 305. But not by much. You never know. That DraftKings money was just the start. So they can still catch up. Please trade for Kelly Olynyk. Please don't trade for Kelly Olynyk. How about that? I'll never get these people who like oh, Kelly Olynyk, love him. Did you? What did you love? Hell out of here. Javi Baez at it again. Oh man, he was sensitive yesterday. We getting a Zoran Bam gold medal game? We might be. Man, I wonder if I can make that game tonight. Because I'm doing the show from here. Josh, you didn't put anything in your chat, bro. Happy to get to your question, and thank you for the super chatting it. But send me a question, bro. I'll get it for you. Fighters Fury on Twitch on Sundays. I'll let you in behind the curtain. Listen, I haven't been doing Fighters Fury live for since the pandemic. They don't send anybody in on Sundays. I've been sending it in. Now I'll send it in at like 4 a.m. most weeks. Been a couple weeks. You probably could have told the weeks, but I've been doing Fighters Fury. It's been a recording. I record it literally after the pay. Like I'm going to record it tonight after the paper, or I'm going to record Saturday night after the pay-per-view. I'm going to send it to our head of operations, and he puts it in the system and it rolls. So I have been recording it on video as well, but I don't have anybody in the building on Sundays, man. Radio's running on a tight ass budget, so that's where that's at right now. Whew. Can Debo get the minimum for 1 year? Yeah, man. Where you been? He got signed today. He did sign for the minimum. Rob's obviously been napping today. He signed for the minimum, Rob. So big news for you, man. Depot did sign with the Heat. That happened today at like 1-ish, I think, is when the news came. It was actually funny. This was funny because I'm normally on Twitter for everything, but I was driving and I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember what I was listening to at the time. I think some MMA podcast, and it wrapped up, and so I flipped on Zaslow on the old AM radio. I don't have it, I like listening old school, and I got Zaslow. Zaslow broke the news to me that Victor Oladipo is back. I was like, huh, how about that? When's the last time you've listened to the radio and news is broken to you. I'm like, was this what people do all the time? Because I'm a little bit too inundated. I'm always like, on my phone, on my Instagram, on my everything. Like I never can give it a rest. And I was like, man, I was thinking to myself, I was like, when's the last time I heard the radio break news to me? And Zaslow broke the Oladipo sign to me today earlier. Crazy. So, but I'm glad you see it now, man. So cool. Now we broke the news to you. You did. I did for you what Zaslow did for me. Toba puts in work 5 days at the station, works on off time, takes care of his second wife. Take a victim. Listen, man. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, it's a fun job. I enjoy it. People are always like, "Oh my God, you do this, you do that." I always get you're a busybody, all that type of stuff. Like what I do, man. And it's and especially when you're done at work at 10 a.m. Isn't it such a ridiculous thing to say? Like you're done with work at 10 a.m. Like you got to make yourself feel productive. So that's why I'm out, doing these things to feel like I'm doing something like that. Did you see Colin Cowherd's latest Tua rant? Thoughts? I did not. I did not see his latest Tua rant. Let's see. Let's go to his Twitter account because let me tell you something. That's a phony right there. And I'll say it with Colin Cowherd. Because that dude did the Tua documentary and he was all up in the Tua game. And then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, I don't know if he's got any special to him. All right, dude. Okay. Well, what the hell does that mean? Let's see. People forget. I don't see it on the show's Twitter page. So I don't see it. Let me see. Let me see if I can Twitter search it. Let's see. I'll just go Cowherd Tua. What he got? Why we shouldn't buy. Oh, okay. So I don't see the video of it, but I see I see what he says. Why we shouldn't buy into Tua's training camp hype. Buy into the hype of Tua training camp. Okay, dude. Well, listen. You can buy into the hype. You can not buy into the hype. The guy looks better. I don't know what to tell you. Like some of the throws, and I don't know this. Like I'm not a quarterback guru, okay, but I'm seeing some of the throws this guy's making, and I'm very, very impressed with it. And then people who actually know what they're talking about, they're like, "Wow, this dude is like." Some of the video that I took of the guy, and I put it up on on Twitter and YouTube. Like some people they gobble this stuff up, and they're super impressed with what he is doing as a QB. And I'm telling you, you could debate it all you want. And I know some of the hardcore Dolphin fans on my YouTube page were upset by this topic because they're not, they watch the clips. They're not like the Twitchers who are in the silly sauce. They in the weeds. They're like, what is this idiot talking about? Marino, twinkle in the eye. You twinkle toes, twinkle in the eye. I don't know. I'm telling you, Marino had a little, all right, like a little, just a respect among greats when he was watching Tua the other day. I'm telling you. Cowherd hangs with Dark Lord Sims and RTD. No doubt. Leader of the dark arts. But yeah, dude, like, how are you going to be in the Tua documentary? And then, like, right before the season starts, you're like, I don't believe in him. Like, dude, so you're going to sit down for this a piece called Tua, and you're going to be, like, gobbling that stuff up left and right. And then all of a sudden, I'm out. Man. Crazy. And, like, isn't, like, so Joe Burrow isn't the word that he's having a stinky camp. So we're just to believe he's done. All right. Well, listen, what's fair is fair. Say he's a bum. Let's see. Dan Marino was looking at Tua the way I look at Taco Bell at 2:30 in the morning. Exactly. Oh, game-winning block from Yurtseven. Wow. That's awesome. Yurt sent from another planet. Wow. Oh man, sounds like I'm missing some greatness. He goes to he's going in the pantheon of the greats like James Ennis, Tyler Johnson. Amazing. What else? Do you think that Hard Rock Stadium will be at capacity? Yeah, I think they are, dude. I think it's willy-nilly. I mean, unless like something changes with the Rona, but you know, I don't know, man. We gotta our governor is pretty much like, wee, we're going forth. He was there in Jacksonville, you know. He had the whole, you know, we were gonna be the, you know, he's letting it roll. Omar got the block to save the game. Man, that's awesome. I think Precious asked for a trade because of the churro joke. He loved it, bro. I'm telling you, Jose. He loved it. Isn't Kuminga a first? He is a first-round pick. He played in the G League last year. Bam hasn't shot any threes. Is that just Coach Popovich's system, or he's not there yet? I don't think it's a question of his. I just don't think it's his role. Like his role, you know, if you're on a team with Kevin Durant, Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal, not Bradley Beal anymore, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, like Devin Booker, yeah, he's not going to shoot the threes, man. I just don't think that that's going to happen for him. Man, that's awesome. I want to see this play. Let's see. Yurtseven, bro. Let's see. Yurtseven. Oh. Video. Come on, give me this block, baby. Stop being greedy, Twitter. Come on, someone's got to have it. Give Daddy a block. Hopefully I'll see it soon. 25. There's the final stat line via Cooper Moorhead's Twitter account. 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks for Omer Yurtseven. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 11 from 3 from Max Strus. Wow. How about that? Summer League, son. Killing it. I love the Summer League. I love the Summer League, man. People make fun. I used to get made fun of all the time when I was producing the morning show for watching the summer. I love the Summer League, man. I love it. Lakers got a steal in Kendrick Nunn. I think they did get a steal in Kendrick Nunn. They get $5 million for Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn was very decent. You know, I saw a lot of Kendrick Nunn stinks. He's not a good player. All right, you're not paying him that much money though. Like, what are we talking about here? You don't think he's a $5 million a year player? I get that. I mean, if you're saying that, you're silly. I honestly think it's silly that he, you know, I understand why they were moving on from him, because it felt like they were always looking to move on from him. And I'm sure he felt that too and wanted to go to a place where maybe he felt a little bit more supported. But he had a good year last year. He had a good year last year. He's you know, never going to be a top-notch defender. He's 6 foot tall. So I wouldn't think of him as being this monster stopper. But I thought that I really thought, like, I thought he was going to be completely into a pumpkin after the whole bubble thing. I thought he bounced back nicely. I thought he bounced back nicely, and I was, you know, surprised. I think just by the way, I'm surprised by the way the Heat fan was like celebratory in him being on. Not everybody, I know it's mostly like just Twitter stooges, but that's normally reserved for somebody who like gets a lot of dough and stinks up the joint. You know, he's an undrafted rookie. Like, really? This is what could you possibly complain about? He came out of nowhere. Can you play more Colin Tua videos with Leroy? Yeah, I can. I'll try and make that happen, man. I'll try and see what he has to say about. I got to find this latest Tua take. You can't buy into it. You know what it's like? A lot of the times you go and place has a great menu, and you know, bring it out. and they have a great special board. But ultimately, it comes down to, what does the meat taste like? It's the herd. Crazy. Herro is better than Duncan. Agreed. I agree with that. I think he's more skilled than Duncan. I think Duncan is very good at one thing, but it's one of the more valuable things in the league right now. And I don't know, the list is Steph Curry above him, and maybe somebody threw out Buddy Hield. Oh man, somebody wants to see the Twinkle video again. You got it. More eyes to judge. All right, so this was at practice. Let's see. All right, so Tua is going to make this throw here, and tell me you don't see a little twinkle from one Dan Marino. It'll zoom into him, so you guys will see it. Don't worry. All right, here's the throw. Boom, right there. All right, zoom on over right there, Mr. Marino. All right, now watch him. What? Ooh, you see that? You see that? Little twinkle. Very approving. Very approving. I'm just saying. It's right there. It's right there. Let's see. Dolphins Talk has the clip about Tua saying he's hyping him up. They are hyping him up. Oh, wow. He's saying the Dolphins are hyping him up to trade him and calls Greer Scott Greer. So what? He thinks they're going to trade him for what? Dude, look. You're trading for Deshaun Watson? Like, honestly, you're going that route where we have no idea what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson and his eligibility. Say what you want. Like, look, it's a lot of people with allegations at Deshaun Watson. I saw one of the interviews with one of the accusers, and it's weird, man. It's weird. But believe it, don't believe it, whatever. You think that you can trade for that with all of this stuff just up in the air, and you just be like, oh, we did our due diligence. How can you do that before the NFL just says cleared, it's over? It's over. Nothing's going to come of it. I don't think you can. So I don't know what they think he's trading him for. Cernoble, too much unknown. Agreed. Tobin, I like Kyle Lowry, but the move I would have preferred if they traded for somebody who was younger was De'Aaron Fox. I would have been into that too. I said this, Anthony, going into the offseason. I was really open to anything. When you get swept in the first round, you kind of got to have a clear head about what they're going to do. And so the Brandon Ingram stuff I was into, the Lonzo Ball stuff wasn't super into, but I wasn't going to like close mind and anything. It ends up, I think, being like the surest fix. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox, him and Bam, good relationship. I would have been into that too. But this seems like the most surefire way to feel like you're going to improve. Somebody else asks, does Kyle Lowry's age concern you? I don't think it does now. Jimmy's age, I'll tell you one thing, like Jimmy's age, people have been bringing out, Jimmy's age doesn't concern me. They're like, oh, he's 32. I'm like, 32? When did 32 become 35? Like, what are we talking about here? Jimmy Butler, like 32, 33, 34. Those are prime years left. Dwayne Wade was still balling out at 30, at 35, 36. Like, what are we talking about? And I just thought that was very weird. People made it seem like Jimmy Butler was a fossil. So that was strange. But yeah, Kyle Lowry's age, it doesn't concern me because he's not like a Russell Westbrook type who's like an above the rim type of player. Does take a lot of hits, defends his ass off. I don't think that's going to go away. His shooting's good. So yeah, it's It's not an overly concern. I would say if anybody like concerned, I would be like, yeah, PJ Tucker's getting kind of up there. Getting kind of up there. Already averages 4 points. Like, it's kind of old. It's kind of old. Sky's the limit. Loved your interview with the Big Show, especially when he was imitating Macho Man. I love that too. That was so cool. I've had such cool interactions with Show or Paul White, whatever you want to refer to him as. He's a cool dude. I mean, the first time that we had him on, he was at Dolphins camp, and I happened to reach out to the Dolphins, and I was like, "Hey, any chance you got to connect for him?" And they ended up sending me his manager's number, and the manager was like, "Yeah, he'll come in like," and I think it was like the next day, because I didn't know that he lived in Miami. I thought we were going to get him on the phone, and he was like, "Oh," and he'll show up at like 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, sure, dude. Nobody shows up at 7 in the morning for radio interviews, and sure enough, and Zaza was out that day. I was hosting, and it was super cool. One of the nicest dudes, and so immediately as we get him up, I did him via Zoom. Did an interview with him, and he's like, who is that? I'm like, that's Macho Marlin's man. And he immediately goes into the voice, but he has a great Macho Man story about getting kicked off of a plane. I'll see if I can find that, because I don't want to even like ruin the story. I don't remember it to the T, but it's something to the effect of like, he was told to, I think, imitate Macho Man having sex, or Macho Man. No, I think it was like, maybe it was Macho was telling him to imitate Hulk Hogan having sex, and he ended up getting like kicked off like the Hulk Hogan jet, and he had to do like commercial flights for like the rest of the wrestling season or whatever it was. I think I'm gonna find the clip, and I'll find a way for you guys to listen to, because it's an incredible story. It's an incredible story. Let's see. Will we ever see a big free agent like LeBron join the Heat again? And will it happen soon? I mean, I guess you got to define your level of LeBron. So, like, does it have to be the number one player in the league? It's probably a lottery thing, man. I mean, you had Jimmy Butler pretty good a couple of years ago when it went pretty swimmingly for the Heat. But will we ever see like the guy join? I would say if it's going to happen again, like, it's going to happen two ways. Goran Dragic is going to go to Dallas, and he's going to pull a D Wade like D Wade did in Chicago and convince Luka to come to Miami once his contract's up. Or I would say Bam, very close with Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum's fed up in Boston, and so he links up. So I would say if I had to keep my eye on two young guys that would eventually come to the Heat, those would be the guys, just on natural tie-ins to Heat greats or current really good Heat players. That would be my me going that way. Sir John says Dame Dalla. Who knows? I would love it. Maybe Dame Dalla and Bam have been bromancing like crazy. Maybe I got my hopes up a little bit too much with those press conferences, but I love it. Didn't Lucas sign a 5 years? That stuff doesn't matter. First of all, he's going to sign a 5-year extension. I don't think this is going to be something that happens like next year. I'm saying like, think 3 years down the road. You know, I'm think like that. Like, Jason Tatum's not going anywhere this year. He's in an extension. But if you're asking me, like, if I had to guess, that'd be like the ways I would go. That's how I would that's how I would go. Looking at it that way. Somebody says check Heat Twitter. All right. I don't know what that means. More specific, bro. I don't see anything other than Yurtseven being awesome. Whew. Kid's good. Let's see. Will Herro or Duncan start? I'm gonna guess that Duncan's gonna start. Over Herro. In fact, I would bet a lot on it. Let's see. Man, you guys are flying with the questions tonight. Oh, and don't sleep on Donovan Mitchell. Good point, Wade County. Because Wade, shadow president, part owner of the Utah Jazz. Sure. Also very close with Bam Adebayo. Let's see. Some of you guys are fighting within the chat. I'll let you guys handle that. I'm looking for people actually asking me questions. I'll let you guys beef over what seed you think the Heat are going to be. Let's see. Wade's dead to me, not a Heat lifer. You want to know something, Thousand Eyes? You're dead to me. How dare you speak of Dwayne Wade in that regard? Not on this show. Not on this chat. Zion to the Heat. He will refuse the extension. We'll see. It's cute to say you turned down a $200 million extension before a $200 million extension is sitting in front of your face. So we'll see. I see a lot of that rumors. Oh, he's so upset. He's going to turn down the extension. Like, oh, you mean the guy whose shoe exploded? Okay. Believe it when I see it. What's up, J Rome? I'm excited too, man. I was excited by the moves. I was Riley making moves. Can we get a live reaction? Like, all right, you know what? I'll find this. You said it was on Dolphin Nation. You guys are dying for this Colin Cowherd reaction. Let's see. Colin Cowherd. Dolphins. There it is. Dolphins Nation. I don't see it. Cowherd. It's the herd. That's old. I don't see it, man. I only see the videos. Oh, wait. Dolphins talk. Here we go. All right, let's see.
There won't be much of a market for him if they ever decided to move him. But did you hear the latest? Oh, this is let me read this. Tua looks like a different player. In week 2 of the Dolphins training camp, swagger, arm strength increase, reading the defense, firing.
Wow, shots fired at Joe Shad.
Accuracy. Tua is fire. Oh, wait, that was last year in August. So color me cynical when I read the highlights today. Dolphin teammates see a more improved Tua. Folks, watch Tua. Don't listen to the headlines. He's small, average athlete, so-so arm. Now, he did go 6-3 last year. He's got an excellent young coach, tremendous defense, special teams, top 5 in the league. They've added to a decent receiving core. Now it's superb.
All good reasons.
Sharp. Scott Greer. So 10-7.
Scott Greer.
11-6 isn't a complete fantasy. But Vegas is telling you what they think of this team. I mean, their over-under is 9.5 wins. That's the Patriots.
The Patriots.
I think
He's been brainwashed you.
Better than average bet. But they're 14th in Super Bowl odds. And that's why
color me cynical.
In this league and every coach in this league, that's what they're gunning for. I mean, it's not that Tua can't win games. Mark Sanchez, back-to-back AFC championship game.
All right, I get the point. For God's sakes, I get the point. And then they'll compare it to like a souffle or something like that. Or, like an auto mechanic. That's Cowherd's bag. So, but Aldridge to Miami. Nah, you're dead to me. We had all those Aldridge rumors, and then he flipped dude and went to the Nets. See ya. Don't disrespect the Godfather like that, LaMarcus. Plus, he's washed. Let's see. HR goes, this is exactly where I should. It's like, what am I going to do? If you still listen, folks. Who's calling people folks? I hate that. Folks. People do that on Twitter. They'll be like, folks. Who says that? Just say, hey, everybody. Talk, folks. What are we doing here? Big Yurt. The Big Yurt. That's definitely got to be his name. The Big Yurt. That's, little playoff of Frank Thomas. Cyril Gain or Cyril Gahn or Derek Lewis. Oh man. I'm gonna go with Derek. I think Derek's been on the big stage before. I think it's too soon for Cyril Gain. Although he has looked very, very untouchable early on, and he's got a lot of roots to win. I'm a Derek Lewis homer. I love Derek Lewis. I'm a believer, and I think he's gonna knock his ass out. Little Uzi Yurt. Oh man. Let's see what else we got. Where do you think that Ben Simmons is going to end up this offseason? I think he's going to Philly. I think he's going to be on Philly. The word was, who said it? Was it Christian Hernandez? Didn't he report that like ownership is demanding that they, I don't know. And Christian, I don't know what the hell your Twitter account is now. I remember it was the Maple Rick. Is it I Can Be Your Hero now? What the hell is his Twitter account? He's a really good follow. That whole Miami Heat beat does a great crew. Great job. He's his ad is at Hawksbeat MHB. It changes willy-nilly, but look up Christian Hernandez. He's a good follow. And I think his report was that ownership is twisting Morey's arm and making him say he's got to get 4 first-round picks. We're for the 4 first-round picks. Like people didn't watch the playoffs. And honestly, I honestly think that they're kind of in the position that they were with Tyler. Like they probably should let Ben Simmons get off to a hot start and then trade him. Like that's what you do. You probably shouldn't trade Ben Simmons off of the playoffs that he just had. You should say like, all right, the guy always is kind of pretty decent in the regular season. Let's see if this Damian Lillard thing becomes a thing and then you flip him. That's what I think that, or CJ, maybe, if it's not Dame, maybe it's CJ McCollum. Were you surprised that John Collins re-signed with the Hawks? I was a little surprised. I was a little surprised just because I saw that there was like a report. He ended up signing for $5,125. And I think there was a report that came out that said, that they were still apart at that number. And I was thinking to myself, what does he want? If he doesn't want that, like, what does he want? Does he want like the $170 million max that Trae Young got? Because he's not Trae Young. And I know they've had some like confrontation on that team. So yeah, I was a little surprised, but also like, I think the mentality of a lot of these teams is, and you saw, I think this offseason is a lot of the whole waiting for the cap space thing is dead. And, if a situation doesn't work out, people got to spend the money anyway. And so most people will think we'll move them. Like, for example of this would be what's going on with New Orleans. Like, okay, Brandon Ingram, Zion, maybe not a great fit, but, would you have just let Brandon Ingram walk out the door? No, you keep him, and then he's an asset for you to trade whenever, and now you get something for him. I think the same goes for John Collins. Like, all right, maybe eventually those two will get fed up with each other, and you flip John Collins for something. So that's that. Strutz needs to relax before he gets hurt. He does play. He plays intense, dude. He plays with no conscience either. You and Leroy said Duncan was rats of a ship. I thought he was. But I've been admitted that this week, Apples. I thought he was. I thought when he was talking on his podcast, he sounded like a guy that was breaking up with the Miami Heat. So I thought I did. I thought he was gone. Tobin, shout out Landon Wood. He's a sad Steelers fan. Needs something to feel good about. Shout out Landon. X Fact, Landon, you get the last shout out of the night. It is getting late, and I am running out of battery in my laptop. And one of the reasons that I was thinking I was having some audio issues is this adapter that I bought that had a 3-channel thing. Doesn't matter why. Point is, I'm running out of battery. It's getting late. So I'm going to call it on this Wednesday night live chat. Everybody, thank you for sticking through with the technical issues. It's good to see. This was one of the most active chats we've had to date. So we were like 5 weeks into doing this. It's been really cool seeing everybody come in on a Wednesday night and relaxing and firing the questions away at us. So thank you so much. Couple plugs before I get out of here. If you guys like this and you guys like the content of this show, please subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy podcast. You could do so on Apple Podcast or preferably on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. That is where you guys can download that app and make $7.90 the ticket one of your favorite stations. We go live every single day because I know this is like fun to people. People will watch us on YouTube and watch it. I know most people on Twitch watch us on Twitch on $7.90 ticket. So for the people on YouTube, watch us live, listen to us live, watch us live on Twitch every single day. We don't stream live on YouTube, only on Twitch. That's what our partnership is with for the morning show. So follow us there at $7.90 the ticket, 790 the ticket. You guys get 4 hours every single morning live, and you can watch us on demand. If you guys like the clips on YouTube, keep subscribing, keep watching those. But if you guys want a little bit more Twitch, you get 4 hours every single day. So check that on out. And if you guys just want to listen to us, put us in your ears. That's a little bit weird. You can subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy podcasts, available wherever podcasts are available. So Spotify. And subscribe there. You get 4 episodes every single day for you, every single weekday for you guys to listen to. We talk Miami sports. We're very silly. We don't take it too serious, but we do give you your meat and potatoes with a side of, a side of a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. I'm honest. So thank you all for tuning in. Been having a lot of fun doing these, and we will talk to you guys with this chat coming up next Wednesday. And if you guys are going to see me tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll see everybody there on the Twitch chat at 7:90 the ticket at 6 a.m. or, of course, on the Odyssey app or on Red Gold AM Radio 790 the ticket. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a great night.